Welcome to another episode of the Blue Country Soul Cafe. Hi there. Welcome to day 2 of 12 Days of Elvis. Today I'd like to talk about another one of the stories about Elvis before he actually became the Elvis that we all came to know. Way before the rhinestone suits, way before the karate moves, before the shaky leg, before the leather suit, back when he was still wearing overalls. And there's a story that I read about Elvis that I think is kind of a cool one because it shows somebody who really believes that they've got it, that they've got a chance. And this is when he's still in high school. And he was a really, really well-mannered boy. In fact, a lot of people still said that later on when he was Elvis. But when he was a little boy, he was very, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And he was brought up right, as they say. And so he did everything the right way in school. He went to ROTC training, and he was very proud of that. He probably regretted that a little while later when he got drafted. He did everything by the book, so to speak. Well, one day in music class, he didn't do very well in music class, and I can relate to that. He was already becoming quite a singer. And his teacher actually said, and I don't know the circumstance exactly, that he wasn't a very good singer. And totally out of character with Elvis, Elvis actually took exception to what she said. And he said, well, to paraphrase, I disagree with you. I think you just don't appreciate my kind of singing. And he proceeded to sing a song. And I could see why she maybe wasn't too cool with his kind of singing, because in those days, he was really influenced in this particular phase by some very hillbilly influences. So he sings a song in class called "Keep Them Cold Icy Fingers Off of Me." And he might possibly have heard it from a group called Fairly Holden and his 6 Cold Papas. I think I've got that right. And, I mean, you can hardly say that without yodeling when you talk. But I think that it's just as likely that he heard it from a guy named Pee Wee King. Contrary to his name, he was actually about 7'2", and that's a lie. But he was a giant among the cowboy singers, and he did movies with Gene Autry, and he wrote Tennessee Waltz. So this guy's got some stuff going on. And so Elvis may have heard "Keep Them Cold Icy Fingers Off of Me" from Pee Wee King. And there's another Pee Wee King connection that's kind of interesting. Early on in Pee Wee's career, when things were just starting to happen, he needed a good promotions man. And he ended up working with a guy whose name was Tom Parker. That Tom Parker. And as you can see in this picture, this is a very young Tom Parker. And it wasn't long before that his name was not very pronounceable by me. So, now another point about this song, "Keep Them Cold Icy Fingers Off of Me." In the very first line, it says, "Bill Johnson was a feller," so you know where it's going, "who believed in haints and sights." Well, what the hell is a haint and a sight? Well, in around the Georgia area, haints meant ghosts or apparitions, and I suppose it sort of has a common beginning with haunts. But as you can imagine, I mean, that's like a totally different language. But bear in mind, the southern U.S. was almost another country. So now I'd like to do my version of "Keep Them Cold Lassie Fingers Off of Me." Bill Johnson was a feller who believed in haints and sights. He'd often dream about 'em when he'd go to bed at night. And when he'd dream about 'em, you could always tell. He'd kick off of the covers and he'd stand right up and yell, "Keep them cold, cold icy fingers off of me. Keep them cold icy fingers off of me. I don't mind them naked bones, I can stand them hollow groans. Keep them cold icy fingers off of me." One night as Bill was passing a graveyard on a hill, something dressed in white jumped out and made a grab at Bill. "Well," Bill says, "you may catch me, but I'll make you do your best. Before we start to travel, well, I'll make one last request. Keep them cold, cold icy fingers off of me. Keep them cold icy fingers off of me. You may run me out of breath, you may scare me half to death. Keep them cold icy fingers off of me. Keep them cold icy fingers off of me." Thank you very much.